hat, it's time to go.
Hi, I'm Madame Pamita, and this is Madame Pamita's Parlor of Wonders. You can find me online at parlorofwonders.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a super sweet romantic love spell. So this is a spell that you would use in a situation where you're not putting so much emphasis on the sexy passion, but you're putting more of that focus and attention on the heart-centered romantic feelings. I think of relationships that are that maybe the passion is high, the sex is high, but you want someone to fall more in love with you and to feel more attached to you, or more just more affectionate and sweet with you. This would be the perfect spell for that. So what you're going to need for this spell are a few things. First of all, you're going to need a pink 7-knob candle, and this is a candle. All 7-knob candles are candles that we burn over 7 days. We burn 1 knob a day. The next thing you're going to need is a conditioned oil for a sweet kind of love. So you're not going to choose those sexy, hot, passionate ones, but more of the loving, heart-centered, sweet ones. In this case, we're using tuberosa oil. Tuberosa oil is very sweet, very affectionate, very loving, and very heart-centered. You're also going to need some herbs that you're going to be putting around and on your candle. So a light, fluffy herb that we're going to put on the candle is patchouli leaf. Now, patchouli leaf does have that sensual passion side to it, but it also has this very loving and attached component to it. So that's a good one. We don't want this to be a friendship. We do want it to be a romance and have some of that passion behind it too. We're also going to use jasmine flower, and jasmine is a very sweet, very light, very heart-centered and high vibration herb to use. And then lastly, we're going to use lavender, and lavender is, again, for sweet feelings, for romantic feelings, for things to be peaceful and calm and heart-centered and very loving. Of course, there's many, many herbs that you can use in addition to these, but we're just going to focus on these 3. In addition to those components, you're also going to need a dish or a tray to burn your candle spell on. You're going to need a knife or nail or some kind of implement to carve into the candle, and you're going to need some matches to light the candle. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare our candle for doing this candle spell. So we've got a 7-knob candle, and on a 7-knob candle you have this very special thing that you can only do with a 7-knob candle. Because it's got 7 knobs, you can write your petition or your intention on each of those knobs. Now you can choose one intention, for example, a sweet love, and you could write sweet love on each of those knobs. But you could also choose 7 different intentions and put a different one on each knob. So for example, more affection, more hand-holding, more sweet words, and so on, and do 7 different intentions, all of course focused on that sweet and romantic love. So in this case, in this situation, I'm just going to use my knife or my implement to scratch into the wax, and I'm going to do just the same intention 7 times. Give it 7 times the power. So we're going to start out with that first one, which is sweet love. And I'm going to write that 7 times. So there I've written sweet love 7 times, once on each knob. Now you want to notice that I've written it so that it goes in an upward direction, meaning all the letters are moving from the base toward the wick. You can certainly do it that way, but another way to do it is that you could write it straight across. What you don't want to do is don't want to write it down so that the letters are going down. So there I prepped it by writing sweet love 7 times. Now we're ready to dress the candle. So we're going to use our spiritual oil, tuberosa oil, and we're going to dress that candle also in an upward motion. So all I need is a few drops on my hand, just a few drops of that oil. It smells very nice. And I'm going to apply it in an upward motion to that candle. So moving from the base toward the wick. It doesn't have to be super greasy, just so that you get some of that oil on. So the oil not only adds the intention to it with the essential oils and so on that support the work that you're doing, but it also helps to be a sort of a sticky substance that allows the herbs to stick to the candle when you're putting an herb on candles. So here we're going to be using patchouli leaf, and we're going to sprinkle that on the candle, and we can sprinkle also in an upward motion. If you have a different type of a candle, of course you can roll your candle in the herb, but this candle, because it's so knobby, kind of needs you to sprinkle it on. So we've sprinkled it on. If you want, you can save the rest, or you can make a little circle around where you're going to be doing your work with that extra patchouli leaf. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to affix that candle to our tray. Now, sometimes the 7-knob candles, they're a little tall and skinny, so they need a little help sticking to the tray. You don't want to move it around and have it fall over. So since these are the candles that I make in the shop and they're made with beeswax, they can be a little soft and easy to melt and easy to affix because that beeswax is a tiny bit sticky. So we take a match and we melt the bottom a little bit until it becomes soft and sticky, and then we just hold it down, press it down onto the tray or to the plate, and now it's solidly on there. So we have that candle stuck there, and it should stay there pretty well. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the jasmine flowers and the lavender flowers, and we're going to sprinkle them around in a circle around our candle here. As we're doing all of these steps, each of these steps, putting the patchouli on the candle, putting the oil on the candle, sprinkling the flowers around our candle, we can be saying the words of intention of what it is that we want. You know, may so-and-so be very affectionate and sweet with me. May our love be very romantic. May this person use kind words with me, and so on. So I'm sprinkling lavender around, lavender being very sweet and affectionate and romantic. There are many other herbs you could be using too, but I like the flowery ones, the florals, the little flower herbs, because they kind of have that romantic part to them too. Now when you've prepared your candle, you're ready to light your candle for your spell. And this, again, you want to say and speak your intention of what it is that you're wanting. So in this case, you can say a prayer or intention of the words of having a sweet and affectionate romance, one that's full of love, that has passion, but has heart-centered feelings as well. And you get that candle lit and going. Now with a 7-knob candle, you're going to burn it each day over 7 days. So you have to have 7 days in a row that you can do this candle. You can't take a vacation in the middle of it or forget. So you want to, on the first day, burn it down until it reaches the bottom of the first knob, and then snuff it out. Don't blow it out. The second day, you're going to burn all of that second knob and then snuff it out, not blowing it out. You can also pinch it out with wet fingers. You're going to burn it each day until you get to that 7th day, and then you're going to let it burn completely. On that 7th day, you can take the remaining wax, wrap it up in a cotton cloth, and stick it between your mattress and your box spring to keep that love in the place that you are with your partner. Of course, you can dispose of it in any ritually respectful manner too. So this is a spell for a sweet love done over 7 days, quite powerful, quite beautiful, and something that I know will help in your situation to make your love more heart-centered, more affectionate, and more devoted. I'm Madame Pamita, and this is Madame Pamita's Parlor of Wonders. You can find me online at parlorofwonders.com.